Welcome to day 4 of the From Behind to Progressing Learner Challenge. I am so excited about today because today is going to be that thing that's going to help you as a homeschooling mom to really get an idea of how to maximize your homeschooling plans in order to take everything that I've been sharing over the last 3 trainings, including today, and take it and move into this school year with confidence, with purpose, and with intentions. I'm Dolly Freeman. I am the creator behind Wholesome Influences. And today we're going to be talking about um, the I'm trying to look for the title here, forgive me. Yes, how to influence your kids to be interested in your curriculum choices. That's the title today. But what I'm going to be teaching today is actually started with yesterday's topic. Yesterday, I spoke about the number one reason your child is not motivated. And I talked a little bit about how you can use a child's interests to overcome their struggles. And if you did not listen to that, you're going to want to go back. You're going to want to listen to that and get a form understanding of how to do that in your homeschooling. But more importantly, let's talk about the plans you already have planned out, the curriculum you've already purchased, and how to maximize those with what I'm teaching you today about how to influence your kids to be interested in those curriculum choices. So before we get started, let me share a little bit about how I have been able to use what I'm about to teach you to really get our children excited about those curriculum choices that I took seriously. I put a lot of time, energy, and effort into planning our homeschooling, and for the purpose of making sure that I was not making a lot of changes. I talked about this, I think, on day 2, that you really should avoid. Maybe it's day 1. You should really avoid making those curriculum changes when it comes to the mechanics of learning. However, if your children are already reading and writing and they have their arithmetic underway and they're really good at thinking, that is when you can take liberties if your curriculum has just not gotten your children's interest. But before you do that, I'm going to want to share with you how to do it, and not doing it prematurely. Because if you've done all that due diligence, then there's a reason you are assigning these things to your children. So, with years of practice, our 12th grader is our third child. He's when he was in 12th grade, I knew that he would love the Three Musketeers. Now, we don't read unabridged, or we do not read abridged books. We only do unabridged. And so it was very surprising to me when this book came in the mail, and it was nearly 900 pages. I mean, it was a thick book. And I remember my son and daughter-in-law were at our house when that came in. Well, she wasn't our daughter-in-law at the time. They were still engaged at the time. When it came in, he was shocked. He's like, "You're really not going to have Matthias read this, are you? There's just no way. And if you are, I want to be there to see his response." And so I was quick to say, "Son, don't give him any negative ideas, anything like that." And so we went ahead and I went through what I'm about to teach you with Matthias. And now I'm telling you, that boy not only finished the book, but he finished the book in less time than I had assigned it, and he absolutely loved it. So, what I'm about to share with you is very, very helpful in getting your children to not only be interested, but love what it is that you planned for them. So, I'm going to be talking about the 3 questions you should ask about your curriculum, and you could do these even after you've purchased them: the purpose of curriculum, and the secret to getting your children interested in your selection. So, that's what we're going to be talking over today. Let's get started with the 3 questions you should ask about curriculum. Now, I really encourage you to use these 3 questions prior to buying curriculum, but whenever you're getting this unsure feeling inside, this question mark in you about what you've assigned to your children, these 3 questions will help you to know if you nailed it or if you need to change it. Again, and we're not talking about the mechanics of learning, we're talking about the knowledge that your children are going to get. So the 3 questions are this. If you have a piece of paper, I encourage you to write these down. These questions come straight from Charlotte Mason's original homeschooling series, and it is one that I have used for, well, I didn't use it the first year, so probably 23 years. I've used these questions to help guide my curriculum choices. The questions are this: why should they learn it all? What should they learn? And how should they learn it? If you can ask yourself these 3 questions about your curriculum, it's going to help you to have the confidence and the know-how to make those changes, but more importantly, how to influence your kids to be interested in them. Because if you can say, why should they learn it? You would have that answer in your mind, and you could be sharing that with your child. And what should they learn? You could be telling them why you picked it and why it is important to them, as well as how should they learn it. This will give you an idea of the lessons and what you want the assignments to look like. So when you use those 3 questions, you're really going to move forward in knowing how to influence your children. Now, the purpose of curriculum is that when we give our children the curriculum, we have to make sure it's affording them knowledge, not just any knowledge, but valuable knowledge. And I love how Charlotte Mason says valuable knowledge for its own sake, that it's accurate and that it's interesting, and of the kind that a child can recall as a man with profit and pleasure. I don't know about you, but I went to a Christian school. That's where I graduated from. And at the time, I did not enjoy what it was that I was assigned and what I had to do in high school. Well, just recently, when my husband and I and our boys were on an RV adventure, we were in our hometown for quite a few weeks. I had the opportunity to go to a dish to pass at my former church. And in that, they had the opportunity to give testimonies of what you're thankful for. And as I was sitting there, I was seeing my teacher for literature who is aging. And I, in that moment, decided to tell him how grateful I am for the Christian education I had and for the book selections that he gave me, because even though I didn't enjoy them there and in that time, it helped me to understand the wholesome influences I wanted to give our children in literature. And so I literally used my own education to pivot away from the literature books that most homeschoolers or even public schools and Christian schools assign to their children. I was delighted as an adult to realize the kind of curriculum that I was influenced by. And so in that time, I shared about one thing that I have definitely been profited from in my education and what I could tell as pleasure. And I was able to recite or retell parts of the literature book. That's what you want from your curriculum. And if it's not interesting, then you need to do your part in getting them interested, because that's the whole purpose of curriculum, is that our kids are taking what we planned into adulthood with profit and pleasure, meaning that it benefits them in a big way. That's what profit means. Pleasure means when they look back on it, they have wonderful memories of the books that they had and the experiences that they had through homeschooling. So what is the secret to getting your children interested in your selections? Well, it's called introductions. And this is what I want you to realize, that our children are interested in the things that they have naturally going on right now in their life because it was introduced to them in some interesting way. They were given the time and the tools to continue to inwardly digest them, and it has become part of profit and pleasure. Now, not all profit is valuable, and that's what you want to recognize. But if we can figure out how to introduce our curriculum to our children, then you will far better benefit from the time, energy, and effort you've put into your curriculum and into your planning and to your lessons assignments. So here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about, why did you choose it? Why do you think they would like it? And think about a trailer. Now, a trailer is something that Hollywood has mastered. Hollywood has given us these little 1.5 to 2 minute trailers of movies, and they've brought in either hilarious part, um, and it's a suspenseful part, an interesting part, to get that spark of interest, to get people to come to opening weekend at the movie theaters. So if you can figure out how to be more like Hollywood, or in the back of a book, you can read how it introduces the moral, the concept, the plot of the book. If you can get really good at having those types of summaries of why you chose it, why you think they would like it, and then introduce it to them, you're going to be able to influence them to be interested in your curriculum choices faster. Now, let me get back to the story about my son and the Three Musketeers, the unabridged version that was nearly 900 pages. When I saw his look on his face, I went through this. Listen, here's why I chose it. And y'all, to this day, this was back in 2019 when I was planning out his 2020 school, 2019 and 2020 school when he was graduating. So to this day, the boy still loves Pink Panther movies. He absolutely loves them. He knows so many of the lines. And that is one of the reasons why I chose it, is he loves anything about France at that time. And so the Three Musketeers had some of that in it. It also had medieval time period, which is one of his favorite time periods. He has several, but it's one of his favorites. And the reason is he has a lot of interest in swords and knives. And so that is all through it. He also loves any type of thing that has combat or fighting. So I knew the plot of the story, the setting of the story. I knew all of that and knew that he would like it. I also knew that there was a lot of morals to the story that would help him to understand a lot of do follow deeds. All of that concept made me really want to put this in, and I knew it was a bigger book. Didn't know it until it arrived, and so once I told him that, once I got him interested in it through an introduction, he went ahead and said, I will go ahead and do this. He ended up loving it, finishing it weeks before he was assigned to finish it. And he was using his free time to continue in the book because it was at exciting parts in the book he wanted to move forward with. So you can use these introductions in a powerful way to get what it is that you have spent your time, energy, effort in planning for this school year to get your children interested in. Now, I really encourage you to use these types of curriculum choices to challenge your children where they're capable. So if you have stuff that are just above their ability, then I want you to go back to what I talked about earlier about finding their confidence baseline. You can ruin a really good book of all the reasons why you chose it because you put it in the wrong time of your child's education. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about the confidence baselines and the stages of transitions that you will need to follow in order to get your children to showing progress. I have that inside the Solve Learning Challenge kit that I just put the link in. You can go to solvelearningchallengesKit.com to get that. You do not want to waste a good book because you've introduced it too early in your child's education. So if they're behind and you just really love this book and you really want this in there, I would recommend doing an audiobook for it and still doing the confidence baseline for their lessons. So this is a way that you can have both worlds, where you can still introduce them to an amazing curriculum without frustration and rooting a good book because you put it too early in their skill. Okay, so your challenge task for today is to prepare introductions to your curriculum choices so that you can earn the eager attention of your children in order to challenge their strengths. So that's your challenge for today. I encourage you to do that as much as you can, especially in those areas where there are strengths. And then if you have yet to get the 3 poster sets that will help you to uh, begin the journey of overcoming these challenges with learning. I just put it in the comments. It's solvelearningchallenges.com. Get you the 3 poster sets that will help you to influence your kids to show progress, the secrets to identifying gaps in your children's education, as well as motivating your kids to love learning. You can get that at solvelearningchallenges.com, but also these are included inside the Solve Learning Challenges kit.com. And it gives you all that you need to help you overcome these learning challenges. Now, tomorrow is day 5, the last day of this From Behind to Learning Progress challenge. And tomorrow I'm going to be talking about the secret to overcoming learning challenges. What I'm going to share with you tomorrow is something that took me a very, very long time to understand. And what I'm about to share with you tomorrow is also the very thing that helped me to be able to go from being impatient and frustrated with the progress in our homeschooling to actually breathe a little bit and slow down my expectations in order to benefit our son's progress. You don't want to miss tomorrow. I'm so excited to be sharing that with you. And I hope you guys have been enjoying this challenge that I put together for you. I really hope you're loving the posters, but more importantly, I hope you go ahead and grab the kit, because what I've put into there are things that have benefited our clients and help them to be able to get unstuck quickly. You don't want to miss them. You want to make sure you're moving forward with your children. Well, hello from Malawi, I think is how you pronounce that. Glad to have you here. Thank you for saying hello. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. Tomorrow, Saturday, which I normally don't do these things on Saturday, but I just felt this is the time to do it. Get you moms equipped for this school year to show progress in it. I'll see you then. Bye for now.